We are Stephen and Jill. Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
And welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from pretty Paradise Valley, Arizona. That's a mouthful. How am I going to get that? I'm going to have to come up with some cute little saying with that.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. And if you're already a member, please join us on Discord.
Cool. Nolan wrote, "Hello all. Curious to know how you include a second parcel in the original purchase agreement if possible. Meaning, the seller wants to sell the property you sent the PA for, purchase agreement, but he also wants to sell another one that they own in this transaction. Do you typically just mail another PA for the second property, or can something be written on the original PA to include the second one? The seller is older and not very tech savvy for DocuSign. Thanks." You can 100% just write it on the bottom. I just tell them, hey, like if we change the price or something, cross out that price, put in the new price on there and initial it. Good enough for me.
And take a picture of it and send it with your phone. Or have his grandchildren do that. Or whatever,
I've done them all. I have called on Saturday and taught them how to take a picture of their phone. I have waited for the grandkids to get home. Sometimes they have an old-fashioned fax machine kind of thing. So there's lots of ways to get it back to you. You can just write it on there. It doesn't have to be, and even for escrow. So I have two things I want to say on this. One is, it's if you're going to self-close a deal, it's just, if you want to have it, it's only personal preference. You don't need to have this piece of paper. It's like your accountant's going to need to see it or anything like that at the end of the year, just if you want it. But for escrow, most of the time, they're going to want you to have something, opening up the transaction, showing that, hey, here's what I'm buying. I have a signed purchase agreement. This is the price, and moving forward. Thank you for letting me finish my sentence today.
The National Association of Realtors and lawyers in general spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year to fake you out into believing that you have to sign your name 50 times to buy a piece of real estate and that you need them. Here's the facts. This came up in Career Path, and we talked about it for a long time. And somebody in Career Path, these are extremely advanced, intelligent people in some cases, said, what do you need from a legal documentation standpoint to close a deal? To which I said, a deed. You need to have the seller sign the deed over to you.
That's it.
That's all. Then the deal's done and it's legal.
No. Makes me nuts. I can't believe I've had to sign like COVID things and all that stuff for a piece of land 4 states over that I'm never going to see, and I'm never going to even talk to that person. Why do I have to sign this?
So as far as a purchase agreement is concerned, it's only a guide for pricing. It's an agreement between a buyer and seller. You can do it on the back of a cocktail napkin. I've done many deals on the back of a cocktail napkin where 2 people have initialed it. You put the APN on there and the price and the time. Yeah. Do you even need that? No, but it's just like an agreement. It's agreement between 2 people. So as far as that purchasing agreement goes, if you have somebody who's not super elderly and understands how to use their phone, or maybe this person does, just have them cross out add the APN in there, initial it, add a change in price, initial it, take a picture of it and send it to you, and you send it to the escrow agent if you're closing that way.
Yep.
And that's just as valid as anything else.
Perfect.
Today's topic, is it too late to get started in real estate? This is why you're listening.
This comes up often. I think it's so interesting that people are like, oh man, I just see so much movement. I see all these houses being bought and all this land changing hands. Did I miss the boat? And my answer is always, are you flipping kidding me? Heck no. And I've got 3 things that I'm going to talk about, and then I know you have a bunch that you want to share too. So number 1, about getting started in real estate right now, one of the greatest things is tools keep getting better. My job, my life, I'm so much more efficient. It's so much easier than when I even started with you 10 plus years ago. I mean, finding properties was hard. So, you couldn't just put in state, county, APN and it would pop up on your phone. Now I can do that. Now I have all kinds of tools that I can do that. It's so amazing, and they just keep getting better. Number two, the data. My data increases. You know, I've got so many new, unique places that I'm getting data, and I'm getting more data, especially for our stuff. It's not too late. Things are. What's interesting too. This is kind of about how we do business. Not so much about, you know, should I be worried that, you know, everybody's grabbed up all the property? I'm going to let you cover that part. Do you want to talk about that for a minute, and then I'll give my last point?
That's really what I think this question is all about.
Yeah.
Is it too late? Our number 3 kid came to me in the kitchen. I don't know if Joe's around or not. And he's going to be 18 in like just a few months. And he came to me, and he was like washing the dishes, wasn't even facing me, and said, "Yeah, it's too late for us." I don't know what we were talking about, but my generation is probably, it's just too late for real estate. And that's a result of this COVID thing and all the stuff in the news about how affordable housing has gone, and all the reporters, I believe, most of the way things get reported these day and age is all doom and gloom, and little guys get lost, and it's just over, which is just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Is selling a used couch over? Of course not. But you don't have a garage sale anymore. You do it on OfferUp. And on and on and on. People want to get rid of old stuff that they're not using. I would argue now more than ever. So, including houses and land and old cars and everything else. Have the numbers changed? Maybe. Probably not.
Probably increased.
Yes.
Especially lately.
Yeah, exactly.
The volume has increased.
Has the overnight need for cash in a lot of households diminished?
Nope.
Absolutely not. It's the opposite. People need more cash now more than ever. So this stuff's not over.
Well, the thing too, think about a property. Think about the number of times properties change hands. It's not just you use it once, it breaks, and you throw it away. This is not disposable products. This is going to go on forever. Exactly.
So Jill and I obviously host this group, and we talk every Thursday about properties. We do, would you do this deal? And a substantial number of properties come in that don't have physical and or legal access. So there's, as the desire and the need for affordable housing and more rural, people get a better taste now for rural property because of the internet, and they can work from home and all this stuff. Solutions will be found for access to property and types of sanitation, like alternatives to septic systems and water. For instance, water distillation is real, and on and on and on. So it's only going to get better.
I was going to, that was a perfect segue into a note that I made here. New niches are constantly being introduced.
That's great, Jill.
And I got to tell you one. I talked to a guy yesterday. We sent out an offer on a property. The guy's in Vegas. It's a property in the southwestern part of the country. And it was a 10-acre property, and I said, hey, I just wanted to touch base with you. I'm glad we were playing phone tag. Finally check in and see, hey, are you still interested in selling? He goes, actually, here's what I'm going to do. He's like, I'm in Vegas. I've been doing construction and all these kind of big projects. I'm going to create a 100% sustainable, we're talking food, water, everything community. So, and then in the end, all he was doing was hitting me up for money. He's like, do you know of anybody? Like, he just wants money to do this project. And he went to this whole long, his elevator pitch.
They found you.
Right, on this project. But you just tapped into it perfectly. Like, there might be property somewhere that we wouldn't have bought or done years ago, and now it's a thing. I remember now walking, you can't walk into Costco, and I turn going, wow, look how great these solar things are. Now they're even smaller, and look what you can do. And that drinking water thing that I saw, I saw this weird thing again in Costco. I don't live in Costco. I just happen to go there once in a while, and that's probably why I'm like, oh, I haven't been there in so long. Look what they have. But this thing where you showed a kid drinking through this tube out of a stream, like, wow, they're coming up with these little, even personal individual filters to make any water safe. So you're right. It's just going to keep getting better.
This generation, the millennials, all are dying to innovate.
Oh, yeah.
And so they want to make things better. Mm-hmm. They're all upset about climate change and all kinds of, whether it's real or not, I don't care. They want to make the world better. And I think that's great.
I do too.
And sustainable living, I can't tell you the number of people that I've spoken with or have joined our group because they want to homestead some property and live that way. And even people with really, really good jobs that spend 6 to 8 hours working online and then can go outside and feed the chickens. That's personally a dream of mine. And I'm long since, the millennial generation. That's not a generational thing. That's been going on since the 1800s in this country. So is it over? Heck no. It just requires adapt and overcome and some change. You got to change with the times. I can show you $50 an acre property in the state of Nevada right now. You can buy as much as you want for $50 an acre. You can buy between 5 acres and 5,000 acres for $50 an acre. You think you can figure out how to get water there effectively? I do. You got enough sunshine in Nevada to the electricity is solved. And where you have electricity, you have distillation. So all you need is something to distill, and it doesn't need to be water. I don't want to get into this here, but it's what might be over when people say this, it's too late to get started in real estate. It might be over where you go out on the MLS, you buy a broken down house, you clean it all up like on HGTV and resell it for more. That part of real estate might be over. And thank God, because it's ridiculously stupid.
Why do you say that?
Why is it stupid?
No, why do you think it's over?
Because I think that
Because they don't make the
real estate, the
profits they used to?
the National Association of Realtors has got us thinking that we all need them to do stuff, and that this MLS thing that they created a while ago is most people, they have us all squirrely in the
Like
head.
profit margins are down?
No, that this is the only way to buy property.
Oh, I see
I
what
have to
you're
buy property through. People ask us that all the time. Do I need a real estate agent to buy property? That's a question.
Do I need a license? Nope. I hear you.
So that type of the regular way of doing, I'll tell you what is over. The regular way of doing business. But that's
good.
always been over. It was over in 1960. The way you bought houses in 1960, totally different than the way you buy them now. And I'll tell you, in 10 years, it's going to be totally different than it is now.
Okay, I have to share something funny about that along these lines, and this is all my last comment. I was listening to a Clubhouse talk today, and they were sharing about using cryptocurrency to purchase real estate and houses. And they have found there are now becoming title companies that will accept cryptocurrency for these purchases. And then it's leading to different banks paying attention and all this stuff. I'm like, wow. So I could go and somehow wire to First American Title my Bitcoins to put my down payment on my house.
Here's my take on cryptocurrency, and I'm by somebody in our group. Well, somebody in our staff just asked us to do a show on this, and we will. My perception is this, and I may use the wrong terminology because I'm not an expert in this at all, but this is what I think the concept is correct. Cryptocurrency trades on a market, on an open market, just like the stock, just like Tesla's stock trades. So there's a perception about how much it's worth. Is it rooted in reality? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't. Blue chip stocks on the New York Stock Exchange are usually rooted in some reality based on earnings and revenue and where their balance sheet is and their debt and a lot of stuff. On the NASDAQ, not so much. And on the S&P, not so much at all. And so when you start to talk about cryptocurrency and exchanging cryptocurrency for a house, let's say, there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. I mean, but the theory is that cryptocurrency may or may not be worth what it is when you do that day you do that transaction. It might go up,
True.
might go down. And some of them do go up and some of them do go down. Hey, just a lot like the stock market.
Yeah.
Could you accept stock? Could I accept Tesla stock when I go to sell my house? Yeah. Heck yes, I could. There's a bunch of paperwork and a bunch of stuff involved, but it's got some value that day. So this whole notion that cryptocurrency is new and it's amazing and it's just this greatest thing that's ever happened is really silly. It really is. It's just stock.
Understood. Thanks, Dad.
I'm sorry. I don't mean for everything to become a rant, but
Thanks, Professor Butala.
I'm so far from a professor. It's silly.
Okay.
Would you accept Tesla stock in a house sale?
Sure.
So would I.
Sure.
You know, people have begin employers,
Yeah.
publicly traded employers have been doing this forever.
Yeah.
I'll pay you
I take the risk.
$78,000 a
Doesn't
year
matter.
and 2,200 stock options a year.
Oh, I'll take all kinds of stuff. I don't really care. I'll take bars of silver, and that fluctuates.
And we have.
No big difference.
Right.
So Same thing. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week. You can find us right here on the Land Academy Show.
You cut me off.
Yeah,
Did you
I
cut
did.
me off? Was it that bad?
Do we have anything more?
Was it bad?
I think we covered it. I don't need to say it again.
So tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show is called How to Find Real Estate Deals in 2021. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. The thick of it is, you just got to think this stuff through. Like, what's a fad and what's not? That's really what the
Exactly.
show is about.
He said, hey, you know
Was
what?
about.
Is it too late to get started in real estate? I'm here to tell you bell bottoms are coming back. So apparently everything comes back around.
What's
Don't
coming?
worry. Bell bottoms.
Oh, bell bottoms. No, they're not.
Yes,
Are they?
they're. Oh, go look in my closet.
You seriously have bell bottoms?
I do.
Why?
They're cute. Wait, I haven't worn them yet, but they're awesome.
I can't wait to see this.
Oh, they're good. They're awesome. If you're interested in learning more about us or what we do, check out landacademy.com or houseacademy.com. We provide the education tools and support you need to be flipping property like the pros.
we
We're
are Steve and Jill. Talkative.
And silly to buy undervalued property. We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.